Hello, everyone. My name is Nagy. I'm a Hungarian engineer and an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur now, and I had the privilege to bring to Hungary the program that is called Thinking into Results, which is a fabulous program. And actually, it is one of the most recommended, most advanced program that Bob Proctor and the PGI Proctor Gallagher Institute has developed. I actually have the privilege of working together with Brian Dalmaso, who's a #1 coach of Bob Proctor and who's here with us. And I'm really happy that we have you here, Brian. Uh, I, I just wanted to just take the chance of introducing you and introducing TIR and introducing the whole concept of why TIR was developed. How did you get in contact with TIR? What it has done to your life? And why do you think that we are actually people who should really do the introduction for the Hungarian people, Hungarian entrepreneurs, Hungarian people who really want to break free from their the prison of their mind? What is your opinion about why TIR is something that people need to get to know, live with the chance? Because as really, I think we live in a historic time. And I also would like to introduce you Ildiko, and she is a Hungarian business partner of mine. So let Ildi also say a couple of words about herself, and then Brian, I guess you should take the lead.
Yes, the pleasure is mine to introduce myself, especially in this privileged company. My name is Ildiko Szilagyi. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a networker, and an international business consultant. I'm so happy and grateful to work with the materials of Bob Proctor. And I'm so happy and grateful that we have had the chance to meet you, Brian. And the way how we met you a couple of months ago was through Bob's teachings. Because actually Adam was looking for some material and he came across you on the internet. And this was, I'm absolutely sure, I'm convinced that this was one of our manifestations, because we were looking for someone serious to work with, to learn from, and there you were. And we had the chance to get in touch with you. We had the chance to join your groups. And we have been very active members since then, and we have been enjoying the relationship so much, and we have appreciated the connection, the teachings of yours so very much. So I just really can't find the words.
No, guys, I'm equally as honored and blessed to be here. Thanks for inviting me. And honestly, we're blessed and grateful to have you as part of our team as well. It's unquestionable whether you two are the right team or not to bring this to Hungary. Your backgrounds, your experience, the results you already have, your disciplines. I mean, you guys are up at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. on our webinars. You're studying. We're passing all this information on to you guys. So we're blessed and honored to have you in the Matrix team as probably the first Hungarian teachers of this information.
Beautiful.
And let me really explain what that means. You know, none of this material is mine. I've been a really good student. I've applied it in my life. I've built multiple companies, and I'm just really blessed and honored to be working with Bob and, you know, carrying that torch. But let me explain to you guys and to your audience what that means. So Bob Proctor has been studying the mind for 62 years as it applies towards wealth performance. It's the science and physiology of how the world's wealthiest people think and act and operate. It's not opinion. It's physics and universal law. That's what makes it different from Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone or anybody else out there. Nobody in the world is teaching what we teach, except for people like Bob and you and I that are working with Bob as mentees. And that lineage goes back all the way to the first recorded billionaire, right? So I've been getting mentored by Bob. Bob got mentored by Earl Nightingale. Many of you might know him from his radio show in the 50s and 60s. And Earl was mentored by Napoleon Hill. Now, a lot of people know Napoleon Hill as the author of the Think and Grow Rich series. He spent his entire life studying wealth and sales. These people have committed their lives to this, passing on what's not taught in schools. And he was mentored by Andrew Carnegie, exactly, right? So for those of you watching, if you don't know who Andrew Carnegie, he's the world's first recorded billionaire in the late 1800s. So what we're teaching is not opinion, it's physics and science. The only question is are you going to get on board or not? Are you going to invest in yourself, time and money to understand this like we have or not? So I just wanted you guys to really understand the depths of the torch that you're carrying. And again, your backgrounds, your successes, your study habits, your disciplines, make us honored in the matrix to have you guys working with us. So that's sort of the history of the content.
Brian, I guess that your history, how you took this material, became a humble student of this, and ever since you have become a humble student, you are actually pumping out results in an extraordinary way. I mean, we were basically shocked about your business results when we got to know where you were and where you are now and where you're headed. And I think I honestly say I bought into the vision that you have immediately, and I immediately started to look for the chance to how to work together with you. But really, I would like you to say just a couple of words what an entrepreneur could expect, or what a person could expect when he joins TIR, what the effect could be in his life or her life.
No, that's a great question, and honestly, I'll give you a little bit about what happened in Bob's life and my life. It's very similar. If anybody here Googles and starts to research Bob Proctor, he was not a Steve Jobs type. He was not a brilliant genius mind. He was born. His parents were born in the Great Depression. He came out of that environment, so he grew up with an environment that was not conducive to wealth building. And he failed out of school 2 months in high school, went into the military early, almost got kicked out of there. He had 18 jobs in 12 months out of the military, and he had a bad attitude. He was not doing well. Most of those were bartending jobs, and he was drinking and getting kicked out of bars. Then he met somebody, right? And the reason I say that is to really highlight to your audience. He was broken and not happy and depressed.
Yes.
But then he met somebody. He met a mentor, and his mentor handed him the book Think and Grow Rich. And if you do exactly what I tell you, it's mathematical certainty that you will succeed. So the reason I tell Bob's story is to really highlight to your audience, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter where you are in the world either. It only matters, do you want to succeed and are you willing? And if you are, the program Thinking and the Results is 100% guaranteed to work if that person does what we ask. That's the deal. Because we're getting in harmony with the laws of creation. The same laws that turn an acorn into an oak tree is what turns a human being into a Warren Buffett. So we can teach people how to think and act and operate like a millionaire or a billionaire, right? So that's Bob's story. So then Bob met a mentor. He had a paradigm shift, changed his study habits, started listening to material like Thinking and the Results. And within 12 months, now this is back in the 60s, he went from 4,000 a year to 175,000 a year in 12 months. Mm-hmm. That's like going from 40K to 1.7 million in today's dollars, in US dollars. He had a radical paradigm shift just from following a proven system and a mentor. And that's the key. And that's what I did, right? For me, I had a more productive upbringing than Bob. I was a little bit more of an unconscious competent. I got good grades in school. I ended up at the General Electric department in engineering at 17 years old, but that was still a job, right? And then for the first 40 years, as an engineer, architect, builder, had reasonable results, but not world class. We teach some people in this course that are in their teens and they're earning $1 million a month. So I was not producing those kind of numbers. I was an employee, not an entrepreneur. So Thinking in the Results teaches people how to go from employee to entrepreneur to really create what I call a heavenly life. Mm-hmm. And a heavenly life is not just a bunch of money. The money just buys you quality of life. It's philanthropy, it's impact, it's health, wealth, love, happiness, and finances is a piece of it, but it's actually the easiest piece. So for me, I was 41 years old and I call it being American broke. I was making about $100,000 a year. But at age 41, with an engineering degree, architecture, construction, like the background I had, I should have been a multimillionaire and I wasn't. And it caused me to just do some soul searching, just like you guys did, and start to seek the information. And oddly enough, it was the industry of network marketing that connected the dots. I started pursuing that full force, and that's where I met Bob in the first place. And I started working with him in this exact same material that we teach. And I took my construction company from $1 million to 10 million in 12 months. So same person with a different strategy and a mentor. That's the key. See, mentors shortcut time. That's all we're really doing here. And now you guys are supremely qualified to do the same thing with people, right? You're supremely qualified to show them the path, teach them the content, help them go from where they are to where they want to be.
Brian, it seems to me that the number one thing, which is a must to be coachable and to be a good follower. Do you agree with me?
Oh, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%.
And if you are coachable and if you are a good follower, is there a specific group of people you would recommend TIR to?
That's very funny. Yeah, it's a good question, because in a lot of industries, you're really looking for like a vertical, like middle-aged women or young, or certain people like in real estate or sales. The beautiful thing about thinking in results, it's really for anybody that wants to rapidly improve their results. Could be finance, could be in faith, could be in relationship, could be physical fitness. It's a foundational program of how the subconscious mind stores programs and how we tap into that and really craft a life that's just like what I call a heavenly life. So there's no specific person. The avatar would be people that are just sick and tired of their results, that want to understand how the wealthiest people in the world think and act and operate and apply it to their lives. So it could be, we have teenagers up to people in their 80s, men, women, and children. We're in 16 countries. I haven't found like a demographic. It's more of a desire.
Yes.
Right. So it could be for anybody. And we teach people, in all facets of this.
This is so beautiful, because it means that the market is so huge. Yes, it is wonderful. So we can.
Brian, I let me have that. This devil's advocate question that I had. I met a lady today. I talked today to a lady who is a very talented lady. Entrepreneurs, many different legs. But in the last year or last half year, let's say, all the businesses she was into collapsed. It's like really living on like pennies now, and she's really thinking about leaving the country and never come back, because it's so impossible to actually stay where she is. She's kind of, I felt an anger in her voice when she saw that, the disappointment. She did everything she could, but the environment collapsed around her. And I think we do meet cases like that. Do you think that a TIR could be a solution for a lady like that?
Oh, absolutely. Right. Because again, this what we're doing here is getting to the foundation of how somebody like Steve Jobs thinks and acts and operates. Now, more than likely what she's doing is mislabeling things. She tries something, she gets some feedback, maybe she loses some money, and it causes her vibration to tank, and she processes that information incorrectly. And she starts to get what we call sad or depressed. And then that trickles into the next business and the next business. And she's just not understanding the creative mechanism that she is. When you understand this stuff, there's no such thing as failure. Failure to me is when you quit something and stop moving. Everything else is just feedback. And it's so funny, because we'll go to university and spend $50,000 or $100,000, 4 to 6 years of our lives, right, without earning any money. And we're programmed to say, well, that's acceptable. And they're teaching us to earn 50 or 100,000 a year. But when we start a business and we maybe invest some money and we have some feedback, right? It's just the school of education. That's all it is. You're paying for information. So more than likely, she's just processing the information wrong and giving up.
Yes.
That's what happens to, probably 95% of entrepreneurs around the world. They just don't know how the mind-body connection works. They don't understand what persistence is, what faith is. These are frequencies. They're mindsets. Yes. And they take a temporary small setback and they magnify it. This happens with people. A lot of people are trading cryptocurrencies. They're trading Forex. They're trading options. And most of them are losing, number one, because they're scared and they're in a low vibration. So they're trading with scared money. But number two, they don't understand how to process the information to set themselves up to some disciplines in some systems that are guaranteed to work. So yeah, thinking in the results would absolutely, matter of fact, she would be an ideal candidate for thinking in the results.
Brian, we know that in this program, there are 12 lessons. 12 lessons in thinking and thinking into results. Is there one which you would just call your favorite one?
Well, I think everybody has one that resonates based on your current level of awareness. And I can give you an example. So for me, it was lesson 1 and 2, but more lesson 2, closing the knowing doing gap, understanding why I wasn't doing things I already knew how to do. And I'll give you an example. Yeah. A lot of the world, everybody knows you should eat healthy, lean proteins, vegetables, fruits, drink water. Everybody knows that in some way, shape, or form. The entire world knows that we should nourish our bodies in a smart way with certain foods, but almost nobody does that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's not that we don't know what to do. It's we don't have the programs installed in our subconscious mind that drive the body to take the actions. That's what thinking the results does. It takes your 7-figure-a-year wish from the conscious mind and it puts it into the subconscious and it creates a program that we would now call wealth building. So for me, it's lesson 2, but many of my clients, it's lesson 7. It's overcoming fear and procrastination. It's what freezes most people. This is what stops people from public speaking. You know, public speaking is a 7-figure superpower. Human beings are meant to speak, but people literally fear that more than death itself. And I'm not making that up. There was a poll, and people would rather die, burn in fire, and something else before public speaking. But we're humans. We're supposed to relate to each other. We're supposed to love on each other. But that's a good example of overcoming fear and procrastination. So for a lot of our clients, it's lesson 7 or lesson 6 on self-image. They just don't even have an image of a successful person, so they won't be successful. And that's not opinion. That's psycho-cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. You have to understand what a self-image is. You have to build the energy and the persona of a successful person before you can become successful. So, I mean, all my lessons in there are favorites. And every time I teach one of them, I fall back in love with them. But for me, it's lesson 2. And for a lot of our clients, I would say it's, between 6 and 7.
One more question. I'm curious about your experience. What was the largest gain a person did until this 6 month or during this 6 month period? What you really have as an outstanding success of someone who started the program and ended the program at different levels.
So is this is before after picture?
One comes right to my mind. I mean, we've had over 600 people go through the program, and they've all had their levels of success. But one gentleman who's a 29-year-old roofing contractor. He had a generational roofing business in Massachusetts. They were doing about $500,000 a year. He went through the program. Now, he was a disciplined student like you guys are. That's why I love you guys. That's why I'm here too. You guys know, my time's it's tight, right? But the reason I'm here with you is you're so disciplined, you're so coachable, and you just do exactly what I tell you. That's the criteria, right? And this person did that. His name is Patrick Cochran. And within 12 months, we went through the program, and in a 12-month period, he expanded into Florida. He went from 500,000 to 5 million.
Wow.
And he scaled, right? Instead of being in the business, his new goal is $1 billion. Nobody in his industry has $1 billion roofing company anywhere in the United States, maybe even the world. And that's his goal. But now he knows where the money is. He knows that $1 billion is not big, by the way, or small. It just is. Right? We teach the universal law of relativity. So the first thing is to understand that. Warren Buffett earns $37 million a day. And Elon Musk just passed 200 billion. So 1 billion is not big or small. It just is. And that's some of the concepts we play with. As soon as he understood that, he lost all fear and just moved forward with velocity, with intention, with faith, tapping into God, putting into work the principles we have. And, none of what we teach is rocket science. I could teach it to a 5-year-old. It's just not taught in schools. That's the only thing. What we teach is not taught in schools. You can go to Harvard Business School and not learn anything about wealth building.
Yes, it's true. Brian, what I find amazing in thinking into results is, and in Bob's teachings on a practical basis, is that, especially in this program, we don't only teach material theory, but we go so deep into practice. And that is the key, right? Because just knowledge means nothing. I mean, the practice, when you put the knowledge into practice, and that is exactly what gives you the long-lasting results.
100%. One of the beautiful, like I said, guys, you got to understand, Bob spent 62 years studying, right? And that's all in this program. So this is not just something, it's not a book that you read. Each lesson has actionable items that you must do.
Yes.
And the first one is goal setting, right? It's understanding goal setting, what that is, not goals based on what you think you can achieve, right? Because everybody's at a certain level of awareness. If you're setting goals based on what you think is possible, you're missing the boat. We want to set what we call C-type goals.
Yes.
And then raise our level of awareness to accomplish that goal.
Mm-hmm. In this program, we get a lot of tools from you. Tools to be used on a daily basis. Which is your number one, your favorite tool?
Oh, the life script. Yeah, hands down the life script.
Uh-huh.
And people
Would you like to tell us some words about it?
Nope, I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. People are going to have to join the course to figure that one out.
Good. Okay.
It's that valuable. It's a multi-million-dollar idea. It's generated millions and millions of dollars for me, our clients, people we teach. That one piece alone is worth the investment. Never mind the 6 months and Bob's 62 years and the 12 lessons in the workbook, the community. That one piece of information will change anything you want to change about your life. So we're not giving that one for free.
I get the goosebumps. So,
well, you guys you're good examples. You're using it yourselves.
Yes, actually, sometimes I just told my people the other day that my own life script brings me into tears. Sometimes
it should.
I can be so touched. Yes.
Yeah.
When I can just bring the future into the present, it's just so wonderful to live it, the moment right now. What is going to happen in the future, and I just bring it into the present. It's beautiful.
I guess that one of the things that I really loved about Bob's community, and I think that's really an amazing thing to experience, and experience it firsthand, is that you are definitely one of the 1%ers who are actually owning now the 96% of the world's wealth, and you are actually going up on the ranks because you are a conscious billionaire, so to say, and all the guys who you're surrounded with Bob's community, like Peggy McCall, like Phil Goldfine, and they came with very interesting ideas to Bob and to these teachings. That they said, Phil said that I want to win an Oscar. Peggy said that I want to write a New York Times bestseller. So it's like really not money ideas, but like really achievements that are like really incomprehensible. How can you manifest that? What is your? I mean, and these people are actually your friends. You're talking to them on a daily basis, and you actually offer contact with them in case you see it's a viable thing to do. Mm-hmm. So it's like an open community to people who are really going for these results and going for the goal, and they're disciplined, and they're actually exemplars of the teachings. Well, the question I have is that how do you see the value of the TIR program regarding relationships, regarding network?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I can only give you my own personal example. So, I mean, I started off as a student. I didn't start off as a coach or a mentor. I started off going through the program, looking to scale my own results. Mm-hmm. And we had such rapid success that Bob invited me to work with him. That's how that happened. And then we joined Bob and we became his top consultant in the world. We broke every record that they had. And I don't say that to impress you. I say it to really impress upon you and your audience that I used the content to scale and grow and leverage and become. And that has led to software companies and consulting and gaming and clothing and all these relationships. It's just a pursuit of excellence. Now, it's just very simple. It's the law of attraction or magnetism, right? I've raised my vibration by pursuing something with passion, and I'm attracting all these people well, Bob was one of them. I didn't know Bob. I saw him speak in an audience, and I just made the decision, I'm going to work with this man, just like the same thing you guys did with me.
Yes, exactly.
Identical.
Exactly.
No, you didn't know me. You just made a decision. Yes. That's the key here, right? But yeah, the associations, and even a lot of my clients are making 7 figures a month and more. Some of my clients earn more than I do.
7 figures a month. That means $100,000 at least a month.
No, it's over $1 million a month.
Million.
A million a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we have quite a few clients that are earning well over $1 million a month. and that's net, not gross. That's in their money.
That's beautiful.
And I have clients that earn more than I do, and so does Bob. Bob has many clients that out earn, and Bob has never made a decision to be a billionaire, you know. But my software company is going to, when that pops and we sell that and we exit, I'm going to pass every client that we have. but the idea doesn't matter. There's no competition. But the idea, yeah, the community that you build when you come into the Thinking and Results community, I mean, it's world class. You know, it's the tip of the sword, and I could never have predicted or scripted the people I would meet. I was just invited to join a mastermind last week. I'm literally going next week for a week, and Kevin Harrington's in there, Dan Locke's in there. There's many billionaires in this community, and I'm not a billionaire yet in the physical world. In my mind, I've been a billionaire for 5 years. Yeah. So, and it's important. Like, you have to have the idea and the decision before the physical will manifest. But I could never have told you that I was going to get invited to this mastermind. So now I have this software company, and next week I'm going to be with, you know, many people that have already done it. They've created multi-billion-dollar software companies, and now these are going to become my friends, you know. So you won't know how it's going to happen. You guys won't, your audience, you won't know how it's going to happen. You just need to make a decision, say yes, invest in yourselves, and just know that it's going to happen. That's what faith is, by the way. Faith is not wondering, it's knowing.
Ah, this is beautiful. Faith is not wondering, but knowing. Beautiful. Actually, we found ourselves so privileged that we were invited to the Elite Weekend. That was the same, just like your invitation in a different level. And we just felt so honored, so much honored. And the idea is just so promising and so blessed, and you know, it's just so wonderful to think about it.
Ryan, I would like to thank you for your time, and I think that it was a wonderful insight into TIR. Whoever has watched this can now really make up his mind or her mind, and you know, have that kind of wise decision made, because it's I guess it's easy now. It's easy, but I really thank you for your time, and thank you for your help. And because we are going to be teachers of this material, and you are the mentor who we're learning from. Can I promise that the people who we are teaching, that you basically will have an indirect help into their lives through us, and they could actually have you as a mentor as well through the teaching that you give us, and we give it. No,
absolutely. It's very similar to what I have with Bob. You know, I've had Bob come onto my trainings. I can come onto your trainings from time to time, and yeah, we're holding your guys' hand through this process, just like Bob did with me. So it's a direct lineage there. So the people that you work with should feel very comfortable that it's a global community, and in my opinion, it's the best thing that somebody could do. And you know, when you say that people are thinking about something for a period of time is making a decision to procrastinate. You just need to look at your life and say, do you value time or money? If people aren't earning what they want to earn, if they're not living in the body they want to live in, if they're not in the relationship that they want, then there's no decision here, unless you value money more than life. Now, an entrepreneur, the first thing we teach is to figure it out. So some of your listeners might not know how they're going to get the money to invest. That's irrelevant. It means nothing. We have to make a decision first, right? And thinking about something is making a decision to procrastinate. That's all that is. Anybody listening to this message can feel the energy. It's either going to resonate or it won't. Yes. You'll have a gut feeling. Your intuition will be telling you, I should do this or not. And if your intuition tells you don't do it, then don't do it. But not doing something because of money is the worst possible thing a human being can do. Living by money making all the decisions, because it's the decision we need first to raise the vibration, to attract the money, to take the course that's going to show you how to earn the money. You know, and everybody's done this. We're going to spend this money one way or another. Figure it out. Figure it out. And we can help you figure it out, right? That's what we do. But I would say the first thing is decision. So hopefully anybody listening to this understands that it's not a matter of us needing your money. It's a matter of us wanting to help you. And people just don't value free, right? We teach decision. We teach you to think and act and operate like the world's 1%. And it's not opinion. It's science and physics. So I look forward to meeting anybody you guys work with. We can definitely have some community meetings and chats, and I'll even fly over to Hungary at some point if you guys get big enough. We have the big event that you guys are putting together too. So I'm really just blessed and honored to have you both in our family, quite honestly. And the energy you bring to our team is just amazing. So, thank you both.
Brian, we are just writing history, and we are so grateful that you are part of our lives, and we feel privileged to be part of your life. This is just amazing. And what you have just said is that the best decision ever, the best investment ever one can do is to invest into this program to live a prosperous life with our help. And I just want to say thank you that you are with us. You are for us now, and you are with us and for us in the future too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Amazing, guys. Be well and God bless. We'll see you soon.